Here is a strange thing about the water timer on my tap. It can take orders from a phone on another continent. It can read tomorrow's weather before the curtains open. And the best part on this smart water timer is a rubber button for manual override. When every clever layer fails, what is still holding the hose? I am Mikkel. I drive buses in Belfast. Today, the button that saves an automatic watering system. That saves you. Let me tell you about a dog, mid-bath. Last week I promised you this story, and it is not mine. It sits in the review section for the timer on my own tap, and of all the praise in there, it is the line I keep coming back to. The reviewer is washing their dog. Anyone who has done this knows the scene. Both hands in the lather, the dog committed to leaving, water everywhere except where it is wanted. And the hose run from the timer is needed now, so walk their options. The phone is in a back pocket. The phone screen cannot read wet fingers. It guesses badly and with strong opinions. Unlock it, find the app, wait for the app, all with a dog under one arm. Or lean over. Press the button on the tap unit, water. Press it again when the job is done. That is the whole review, more or less. No app, no waiting, no drying your hands on the good towel. And here is why I trust it. Nobody invents a story that boring. 5-star reviews about range and schedules read like adverts. A wet thumb on a rubber button reads like a Tuesday. That button is today's whole subject. So why does one rubber button matter that much? Because of a habit I want you to build. Whenever you look at a way of turning water on, count the links in its chain. Water only moves when every link is alive. Take voice control. Alexa, water zone 2, count along. The speaker must be awake, your Wi-Fi up, your broadband up, the voice platform servers up, the timer company servers up, the hub alive, and the radio hop to the tap clean. 7 links, give or take. How that journey actually works is a fortnight away. It gets an episode of its own. Today we are only counting. The app is much the same story, minus the speaker. 5 links, roughly, and 2 crossings of the internet to move water 30 feet. The schedule inside the timer, the one we tested last week with the router off at the wall. Clock, battery, valve. 3 links, and none of them ever leaves the garden. And the button, battery, valve. 2. Your thumb replaces the clock. Now, each layer up buys you something real. Convenience from the sofa. Weather that thinks ahead. Watering while you are in Spain. I run those layers, and I like them. A long chain is what lets a shift worker garden at all. But every link you add is one more place the chain can break, and the shortest chains never leave home. Now stack those chains up and you get the most useful picture in this series. A reliability pyramid. At the top, voice. 7 links, the longest reach, the most ways to die. Below it, the app, 5 links. Below that, the schedule in the box. 3 links, all of them yours. It survived our unplugged test. Then the button, 2 links. It works with wet hands, dead broadband, and a phone left on the bus. And at the base, the watering can, 0 links. It has never crashed, never updated, never asked you to accept new terms of service. Here is the rule the pyramid teaches. Every clever layer fails downwards. Make sure there is a floor. When voice dies, you reach for the app. When the app dies, the schedule carries on. When the schedule dies, your thumb finds the button. When the batteries die, the can comes out of the shed. A garden with all 5 layers barely notices a bad day. A garden missing a layer falls straight through the gap, and the gap is usually a whole summer. Later this series, there is a ladder for greenhouses, and it teaches the opposite lesson. Climb no higher than you need. This pyramid is about what you land on. You do not build a pyramid from the top, yet most smart timers are sold and bought top first. Let us be clear about what a good button actually does, because they are not all equal. On a proper one, a press starts a zone for a preset runtime, and then it shuts itself off. That last part matters more than it sounds. It means the button forgives you. Press it, get called away by the phone, the dinner, the dog again, and the garden does not flood. The water stops on its own. A button that only opens and then waits for you to remember it is not a fallback. It is a puddle with a delay on it. A good button also lives where a thumb can find it. On the unit, out in the weather, big enough for a glove. Some timers hide a manual mode 3 menus deep inside the app and call that an override. That is a joke with a straight face. If the app is the thing that failed, a button inside the app is a locked fire exit. And drop the idea that buttons are for beginners. Aircraft cockpits keep physical switches under all that glass, and not for the passenger's comfort. The most automated machines humans build still carry a manual layer, because the people who design them count links for a living. Your garden deserves the same engineering, at tap height. Now, before this becomes a sermon, let me take the button down a peg, because the floor has footings of its own, and there are two. Footing 1, the battery. That press does not open the valve by muscle. It fires the same latching valve the schedule uses, the little click we met back in term 2. No battery, no click, no water. The button dies with the batteries, the same as everything else in the box. So keep the low battery warning switched on, and put fresh batteries in each spring in the floor holes. Footing 2, the button cannot think. It does not know it rained all morning. It does not remember that the schedule already watered at 6. It does not care that you pressed it an hour ago. It does exactly what a thumb tells it, which is its whole strength and its whole weakness in one sentence. The clever layers exist because thumbs forget, and holidays happen, and the weather changes while you are at work. So no, I am not telling you to bin the app and live by button alone. That is not a system, that is a chore with a valve on it. I am telling you the opposite. Enjoy every clever layer. Just never own a timer where the clever layers are all there is. So, the box on my own tap. The Johgee tap unit carries the button we have been talking about all episode. Press it, and that zone runs its preset time, then shuts itself off. Wet hands work. Gardening gloves work. A neighbor who has never seen your app can water the greenhouse with one press while you are away. It is the reason the dog story up top made me nod, because mine gets used the same way, mid-mess, most weekends. 2 honest notes. The button obeys the batteries like everything else, so mind the warning when they run low. And if your garden is 3 pots on a patio, your thumb and a watering can already are the whole pyramid, and no timer will improve on them. For everyone else, this is the floor I stand on, and it has never once asked me to log in. Which brings us to the drill, because here is an uncomfortable truth about fallbacks. A fallback you have never used is a rumor. The night something fails is a bad night to discover your floor was never there. So, 5 steps, 10 minutes, once a season. Step 1. Find the button without opening the manual. If you cannot find it in the dark with cold fingers, it is not a fallback, it is a brochure feature. Step 2. Press it and name the zone out loud. Which valve just opened? If you do not know, you will one day water the lawn to rescue the greenhouse. Step 3. Time it. Let the preset run all the way out and watch it shut off on its own. Now you know the water stops without you and how long it runs. Write that number down. Step 4. Teach it to your house sitter, not the app. Never put an app between a favor and your garden. 1 sentence does the job. If anything looks dry, press this once. Step 5. Repeat each spring when the fresh batteries go in. 10 minutes and every layer above it can now fail in peace. Every bus I have ever driven has a handbrake. Not because the air brakes are bad, because somewhere in a design office, somebody counted links and decided one control should stay simple enough to trust with your life.